Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At the Kyriakis mansion, Maggie reads condolence cards. Sarah says that she saw Xander and lied about Rex being the father of her child. She also accepted Rex's proposal to marry her. Referring to his cheating, Maggie won't give her approval. Moreover, Xander ought to be informed of the truth. After what he did, Sarah doesn't believe he deserves anything from her. Maggie contemplates whether Sarah can truly live with deceiving her youngster. Sarah is aware that Maggie wants her and Xander to get together, but since Xander proposed to Chloe, neither she nor he can do so. Maggie calls that a bounce back since Sarah is the main individual for him. He doesn't seem capable of that kind of loyalty, according to Sarah. Shielding Xander, Maggie says they're burning through valuable time. She just lost her first love, and she doesn't believe that Sarah should lose hers. Because Xander is two different people, Sarah cannot remain entwined with him forever. Very adoring and tremendously unnerving, she and their child would never know who she would get. Thus, she's wedding Rex. Maggie inquires if Rex and Xander share a love. Not yet, she says. Yet I will. Chloe gets back home to Xander getting ready haggis for their commitment lunch. She pulls a face. He explains that his mother only made it for special occasions. Although Chloe pretends to be interested, she must first tell him something. Henderson informed her that Sarah was expecting when she saw him at the grocery store. Xander definitely knows. Accepting he's the dad, Chloe can't completely accept that he didn't tell her. Rex, according to Xander, is the father. Sarah sounds like she's in her last trimester, so Chloe thinks she might be lying. Xander makes sense of Sarah laid down with Rex just before she left Salem, which pacifies her. He guarantees Chloe she is the lady he needs to be with. As he makes his way to the kitchen, he says, "Now, let's tuck into that haggis." Chloe winces. Afterward, as Xander partakes in his dinner, he sees Chloe simply picking at hers. She doesn't like Scottish food, she thinks. He says it was hard to get used to. She promises to chip away at it while he's meeting Maggie. Before he leaves, he gives her a final kiss. Melinda warns Sloane at the hospital that she could lose Eric if she tells him Nicole is pregnant with his child, particularly now that Nicole is not pregnant. Sloane despises it, but acknowledges that Melinda is correct. She is aware that Eric would never forgive her, and there is no reason for him to remain with her without a child. Not exclusively will she be childless, Melinda says, yet single. Yet he won't see whether Sloane keeps her mouth shut. Sloane contemplates whether Melinda will continue to coerce her. Melinda guarantees she's there as her companion. She won't utilize what she knows against her. Melinda regrets that EJ has avoided paying for his crimes, but she finds solace in the fact that he will eventually learn about it. After that, Sloane will make him suffer in ways that the legal system could only dream of. Really great for me, Sloane deadpans. She relates attempting to enlighten Eric regarding Nicole's child. He only knows that she is concerned that he will leave her because of what she has done. She doesn't have any idea everything she'll say to him now. Melinda is fortunate in that she knows precisely what she can say. Nicole overhears Eric telling Roman over the phone that they lost the baby while they are in the lobby. She moves toward him with tears in her eyes. She calls it unjustifiable on the grounds that she knows to what lengths he will go for a youngster. He'd make such a magnificent dad. She offers to tune in if he at any point needs somebody to converse with. Eric notices her engagement ring as he is getting emotional. Nicole lets him know she and EJ are getting hitched at the earliest opportunity. He is thinking of them. Nicole thusly trusts he and Sloane can manage this. Eric passes on to keep an eye on her. Spotting Melinda by the lifts, Nicole defies the DA for telling EJ he shouldn't with her. Wriggling, Melinda says she was simply playing with him and apologizes. She sincerely hopes that they will live happily ever after. "No, you don't," Nicole spits. "You maintain that everybody should be however hopeless as you seem to be." Melinda disappears. In Sloane's room, she lets Eric know she's going to admit before she lost the child. She knew there was something wrong, but she was sure everything was fine and didn't call the doctor. She might not have lost the child if she had. They might very well never have a child, and it's all her shortcoming. Eric urges her not to surrender trust. He involves Nicole, for instance, and sends along her feelings. Roman informs Kate of the news after she rushes into the pub with baby shower supplies. She tells Philip that she told Philip about Victor, and she expresses the appropriate grief for Eric. Presently, he needs to return home. If he does, they worry that he will be detained. Xander and Maggie solemnly discuss Victor at the Kyriakis mansion. Sarah shows up and inquires as to whether she can converse with Xander. Before she leaves them alone, Maggie cautions him against being a stranger. Therefore, Xander sighs. "What was it you didn't say yesterday?" After Roman passes on the bar to visit Eric at the emergency clinic, Kate gives an impromptu speech to Victor with her martini. Roman calls to inform her that he met her son outside. "Philip?" According to Kate, dazed. "Not Philip," he answers, grinning. Rex comes in. The doorbell rings before Chloe can reluctantly consume her haggis. Alleviated, she answers the entryway. "Good gracious," she shouts. Stunning. "Philip, the lobby view isn't shown." A ton of people were stunned to discover that Martha Madison would leave Days of Our Lives following 19 years as Beauty, not the least of whom was the entertainer herself. Madison discussed the reasons for her departure from the show's production in the shadows as the dust of Albert Alar's firing settled. "We comprehended the reason why she was leaving, yet weren't exactly certain what might accelerate Beauty's exit. In any case, as Sean sunk further into despair, it's become progressively clear that it might have a considerable amount to do with him. We're just now, however, acknowledging how terrible things are going to get with Sean, and feel that maybe we will not be getting only one exit, yet two." Beauty's significant other has been in critical waterways since shooting his father similarly as he at long last returned to life, yet himself, and placing Beau in a state of unconsciousness. That was bad enough, but Victor died in a plane crash after visiting Beau, and Sean is now blaming himself for that, just as he seemed to be coming out of his hole. Beauty and Marlena have both been attempting to help him through, however, as Brandon Beamer uncovers in the new issue of Drama Summary that is going to hit an end. Sean won't go to AA and stops his treatment meetings. He's worse, and he's burnt out on imagining before Marlena. So Sean does the most awful thing he could and simply abandons finding support. That is heartbreaking, but once someone gives up on getting better, things can become extremely risky. It accomplishes for Sean when he's distant from everyone else and takes out his SPD weapon. It's entering Sean's thoughts that this is a lot for him to deal with. Beamer makes sense of. This could be a simple break, a simple exit from the responsibility that he's inclination. Heaped on top of that is accepting that he's disheartening individuals since he has zero control over his drinking. The danger of self-destruction ought to continuously be viewed in a serious way. Yet, even what's more, fixation and emotional well-being battles go on through the Kyriakis family, from Brady and Philip to Sean and Beauty's own girl, Claire. Beamer explains that in the end, he simply doesn't have things under control. Additionally, in an effort to regain control, that feeling may result in shockingly drastic actions. Furthermore, that incorporates somebody ending their own life. Sean's inclination cut off from the Kyriakis side of the family, his father's in a state of extreme lethargy, and his mother's off with him. It's simply him and Beauty, and nothing she's attempted up until this point has had the option to help him. Sean, of all people, ought to be aware of the extent of the harm he would cause to her if he committed suicide. Since in such a case that she can't break through to him in time, Beauty will take all his responsibility onto herself and logical fault herself for his passing. She would ideally look for the assistance he would never get. However, with what we are familiar Beauty's leave, that wouldn't be in Salem. Not after everything that had occurred, not with all of the traumatic experiences. However, Even if she manages to communicate with Sean in a timely manner, it might end up being too much. Their marriage might not survive, but Sean might. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.